definitely when you're trying to attract business online, being able to really sort of like drill down and articulate what it is and what value you bring quickly is really important. And yeah, don't be afraid of putting people off.
And to segue into one of the things I was going to talk to you about, in order to do that, you need, a fantastic website that talks about the problems that your customers have got, so that when they go searching, they find you and then maybe reach out, get in touch, just like the guy did 10 minutes before we started recording this. We were speaking to a prospect this week, a really exciting prospect. I do hope that we managed to get them as clients. But when they were talking to us, they were telling us how the IT department are kind of the gatekeepers of their website. And like they have to kind of get things past the IT department when they want to do things on their website. And that just got me...
That makes sense. It's computers and
yeah,
the internet's
and that's exactly it. And there are still so many businesses out there, if you talk about generating business online, and they immediately think it's something to do connected with the IT department.
Yeah.
And it isn't. It absolutely isn't. And this is a very big company as well that we're talking about here. And, when you look at their current web presence, it's very clear that the IT department are in charge of it, because it's aesthetically, it's not offensive. It's quite nice. It's okay. But from the point of view of a business generation, lead generation tool, it's absolutely hopeless.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because if you were going to, if a company were going to approach an advertising agency and engage them to do billboard adverts or TV spots, you can be 110% sure that the CEO and probably a couple of other members of senior management would want to rock up and talk to that advertising agency and make sure that the pitch was right and that they were going to advertise them in the right way and that they were going to say the right things. But when it comes to your website, which I would argue is way more visible than a billboard or a TV ad,
you'd think
it does get sort of delegated down to sort of like, almost as if it's a piece of software, a bit of kit.
Yeah.
And it's strange because it really is the sort of, the most public facing aspect of your business nowadays. I mean, it's the first thing anyone's going to do when they hear about you, irrespective of whether they read it in sort of like a pitch document or they see it on an advert, is go to your website. And yet, like you say, trying to get sort of engagement with the people at the very top of these businesses is often quite challenging, which is strange.
One of the reasons is that a lot of websites are still using software that's installed and maintained on a server by the IT department, or possibly an outsourced IT department, as opposed to one of the many fantastic SaaS solutions like Webflow, HubSpot, Squarespace, etc. And I think as businesses move more to these SaaS-based solutions, so that the comms team can own the website and own everything about it, because the tech stuff is outsourced to the SaaS company, and you prize the cold, clammy hands of the IT department off the website because it's got nothing to do with them.
David, not a lover of IT.
No, I mean, of course I love IT. I mean, I even worked in IT support when I was at the University of Aberdeen. Managed to wipe data off hard disks and things like that, and so I wasn't cut out for it. But yeah, I did do quite a lot of stuff along the lines of IT support. No, I mean, I've got nothing but I've got a lot of time for the IT department. But like, get your hands off the website. It's got nothing to do with you.
There's a lot of confusion, I think, about who this stuff is really for. I think, like you say, digital marketing is something for management to engage with, really. It's not something you can...
With that logic, the IT department, or people who work in IT, are the only people who write books because you use a word processor. Absolutely. And it's technology and it's software, so it's an IT discipline. Nobody else should use it. It's just like, the communication medium is, of the website is... It should be with the comms team or your external comms team or whatever.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we've talked about that loads of times. So, but yeah, it was just I guess I mentioned it because, like, yet again, we had a conversation where the wrong people are kind of the gatekeepers of the website. The website is not doing anything for the business, and it's probably one of those where it's going to be tricky to again prize their cold, sweaty little hands off it.